Good morning and welcome back. Today, yes, I got new glasses, so forgive me if I'm doing the head dottle. These has got lines in them. I've got to order me some more progressives. I just couldn't afford these where I got these in progressives. So I'll order some from Zenni Optical. Not a sponsor, but they're good. They do sponsor one. I know of at least one channel on here, but on YouTube. I mean, not here. So, but anyway, I'm making modifications to my Carta presses that I made. So one I'm going to leave alone. It's going to be the 2 1/8 or 2 3/16, something like that, wide, because some of the knives I could only get some of the lengths I can only get one handle per piece of my Carta that I make. It's the way I made it, and so far, I mean, it works out great, with the big wide spots at the bottom, and everything. So, but I've modified the other press that I had or made. I've modified it and made it to 2.5 inches, and actually probably 2 5/8. So this I think is right at 2.5. Right there it is. Oh yeah, this is 2 7/16. So like it's just a little bit of bit and a half, and that one over is probably just a fuzz over a half. And the reason I done that is for wrapping or lining the wood with parchment paper and wrapping this in parchment paper, or what I'm going to start doing is cling wrap. And so I've made a texturing board right here for the top. This is going to be the top of it. And I'll sand it up and clean it up. I can have smooth or smooth and textured. So I figured I'd do this. I'm going to hand sand. I used a 3/16 drill bit and just sunk it down in there a little ways and pushed this board into it. Once I get it hand sanded here to remove some of the rag on it, I'm going to go over and do it again until I get to a depth of about 3/16 of an inch or something like that. Then I'll hand sand it again and get it all slicked up. And then what I'll do with this then is I'll take this and rub it down with petroleum jelly. This and this and this are the three main. Oh yeah, and these are about the best things that you can have in a knife shop or engraving bench or anything else that you're working on and you're dealing with glues, epoxies, varnishes, stains, anything like that. And rubber gloves. You can get away without having rubber gloves if you're really careful. And I have for a long time. I mean, I do, but when I use them, when I run out, I usually can't find any more I like. So, in Harbor Freight, went stupid with them. I mean, they went from like $7 a box to like $25 a box for same gloves. This pandemic has really screwed everybody up about buying stuff, waiting and getting material in. Oh Lord, have mercy, has it ever? Anyway, let me show you what I'm doing right here, right fast. I mean, I'm sure that let's see, hit the wrong button there and I'll cut you off. But anyway, that's all I've done to it right there. Just made it like that. So, and I'm taking this 100 grit paper right here, and I'm trying to get all this flash off the top of it. And then I'll take it back over to the drill press and try it again. Alright, get my knife out here. Start trimming it off for a little bit. Now, this may be too big. It's not like a regular jig pattern, but still, it'll make it a little better. Didn't cost me nothing, but just a little bit of time, and probably I've already sanded off $100 worth of this too before here. So yeah, love being Bidenized. If any of you just don't know what sarcasm is, that was it. I'm with the other, 270 million people that didn't vote for him as president. He got 81 million votes. Never got out of his basement. Boy, I tell you. Yep. Go back over it, but I want to cut this flash off and get everything out of it. Because everything you leave in it will transfer. It won't matter so much about these. These will be high spots on it that you can sand down if you want to. So hopefully this will do. If it don't, I'll do something else. I should have just used an 1/8 of an inch, done it. I don't know. Live and learn. I've got another tip before fishing fails. If this fails. If it don't, then it'll be fine. If it does, that'd be fine too. Not much of casting for this, but anyway, never done it with texture before, so this will be my first time. May have to do something a little different. I may wind up chiseling everything away down to flat and leave just the pattern. If I did, then this will be reversed. Maybe what I have to do. I don't know. I'll have to think about that for a little bit. Don't have any more micarta. I mean, fiberglass resin. Might be worth a trip out to go get some just to see. If anybody out there knows if I'm doing this wrong or not, be sure and let me know. Give comments, give me on message me. You can find me on Instagram as Dogbone Knives 1. Instagram evidently doesn't have any customer service at all. And I tried for 2 months to get them to send me a dang code so I can get back into my Dogbone Knives. And so they hadn't done it. So I don't know why they hadn't done it, but they hadn't done it. Maybe I don't know. Can't find the numbers for them, phone numbers where you can actually talk to them. And they don't respond to any kind of messages or anything, so I take it that it's all done by the supercomputers at IBM or something, and nobody owns it. So that's slick. And you always find me on Facebook under Bobby Shields or Dogbone Knives. I've got a page there. And I post on Instagram. It goes to my Facebook. So I'm on TikTok. It's Dogbone Knives. I hadn't posted a TikTok in a long time. To tell you the truth, I forget about it. Okay. I don't have any clay. Wish I did. Now this is a little wider, this is, and I can get, okay, here's a victim that didn't make the grade. Customer service caught, and the quality control caught this one. I've done this one side right here, and as I was getting back up here, there was a crack in there. Evidently this one's hardened out to about right here, and somewhere or another it cracked. So that's what I try to strive for. These thinner knives have got a little bit of flex in them, and I took them to a blue temper, so basically blue backed them, plus they was homoned too, so that made them even even softer up here. And this is still relatively hard. And the edge on it's less than, I don't know, it's probably, I'll just see what it is. Got me curious. Yes, it's in thousandths. It's around 13,000. Get just the edge. 17, 5, 16. So yeah, so it's less than 20 thousandths thick, one end to the other. So that's great. So that much right there, you can, when you get it down and hand sanded, you bring it on down. I've had them where they'd shave you just by polishing them like this and then taking them to buffing them up. But I like to leave it still just a little flat when I get done with it, so I can sharpen it and put a secondary bevel on it. Try to make all my edges where they come. This is acute, very acute, like that, and then come down again. You know, do a little acute edges right here. Put that last bit on there with a wet rock or sharpening steel. Here's what I use. The diamond pattern on it in my sharpening technique clashes a lot. I have to really watch what I do, because when I turn the knife, it'll drop off in one of these little gullies here and it'll dull it instead of sharpening it, because it's rubbing the sides of the diamond, not on top of it. So anyway, see what I can do with it later on. But they got them now with hexagon shape, so that would probably be better. But it's a good stone. I've used it for things that it really wasn't intended for, and it worked good, and it still works good. I just have to adjust my style of sharpening a little bit from time to time. It's the reason everything I sharpen gets, when I get done with it, it goes on the leather belt, the strop. I strop it. No, and I don't use any fancy grinding or polishing compounds or knife sharpening anything on it, just straight leather. I had a piece of equine leather. I can't find it for nothing, so I don't know what happened to it. But I bet you talk about some tough stuff now. And work, Lord mercy, did it work good. But I can't find it, so I'm stuck with cattle leather, which is fine. The horse leather is kind of expensive. So, and yes, people do eat horse, so there you think ooh and ah and everything else. Just remember, the number one consumed meat in the world. All 12 million countries that this big, little, whatever like that. The number one consumed meat in the world is goat. So you can raise them about anywhere. They'll eat about anything, and they're, well, get the right kind, you can get milk and make your own cheese and butter and everything out of goat milk. So, and they'll give quite a bit. because they normally give birth to 2 offspring, so they make an abundant amount of milk. I don't milk mine, but I got a goat female. I've had her for a while. She'll only have, if she has 2, she'll abandon one. The first one that hits the ground is the one that she wants to deal with. Doesn't matter what sex it is or anything. She only deals with one kid. I found a couple that she's had hid and wouldn't go back to. And the reason I know she does that is because I was here when she had them in the barn. And she wouldn't have nothing to do with it. She'd butt it, me, and everything else, running it off. Mean. Mean. She must have been somebody's wife in her past life. That's if do like the Hindus believe that you come back as something else, as a animal or whatever. So she must have been somebody's abused wife. All the chickens. And that what you heard in there was her bullying another one right now. She didn't have a kid on her. She would be going the way of the dodo bird. Looks deep enough. I don't need to be any deeper. I know these are going to be the wide spots. These are going to be raised panels. That's the reason I should have used a 1/8. Well, that's enough fooling with that for today. So, since I don't have any other stuff, I'll just sit here. I got another sheath or two to manufacture. It's just stuff like this. Once I think about it in the middle of the night or something, my little chatterbox mind keeps me up some nights and awake early in the morning. So maybe watch a video or two about making molds and stuff, and making that. Need to see if they got any like that on YouTube. I'm sure they are. YouTube University is pretty complete. If you want to know how to do something, there's somebody on there that'll show you how to do it. Pretty much, they'll even show you brain surgery. I've never tried that. Of course, can't get nobody to lay still long enough. But I've done a lot of things. Brain surgery is not one of them. Yep, get everything over here out of the way. Give me a little working area. This is just one of them little chattery vlog style videos. So anyway, need a little tripod so I can set the camera on this bench, but I don't have one. So I sharpened my chisel up. That's what got me started on that. I thought about it last night, so I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and do the chisel, so get started. Just flatten this off right here. When you're sharpening, just give you any kind of tool that you're sharpening, like this bit of knife. Okay, I can show you on this knife too in just a second. But anyway, you sharpen this, you flatten the bottom of the chisel off. You don't have to go all the way back, just 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, something like that, flat. Big slicks, or they'll have a little bit of flat, then they'll have a hollow grind in them up through here. Big store-bought one, or even some of the people that make them, blacksmithing, they'll have a hollow grind in them right there, so that there's no less surface area to drag on the wood. See, I can do this, and it pretty much scratches it all the way. But I'm not worried about that right now. Just trying to get this flat right there. Okay, I've dulled it. What I've done is I've made a burr on it. Now, do I have any paper? No, I don't. Let me get this. Let me get my board back here. Now, this is all the paper that I used to ever use when I done heat and air conditioning, whatever. Figure every job that I ever done on 2x4. With that, what I've done right now by rubbing the bottom of it, chisel is like this, here and here. So yeah, get that. This is, I don't know what this angle is. It's in the 30s. I'm saying probably 35 or 30, something like that, 28, somewhere in there between 25 and 40. Just no matter what it is. Now what I've done by rubbing the bottom of it, since it was fairly sharp, is I've made a burr right there that's curled up over the edge of this. That's a wild exaggeration, but that's what's happened. You can feel it. I've been rubbing on it, and this thing had shaved you a few minutes ago. And I just want, it's got some notches in it. I'm just trying to work out right now. Don't know how I got them, but they're in there probably on a knot or something. So yeah, I'm doing this. This is the 1,000 grit side. This one comes 300 on this side and 1,000 on the other side. So now, when you sharpen anything, is you're pushing the edge into the whetstone, the diamond, whatever. Get this like that, and you can see that it's where it's rubbing. That's getting all the way across. The bird's not gone yet because I ain't made it to the edge yet. Stand it up and go like this. Now, there, now that's on the edge. Okay, pretty much. It's pulling her. It's got a few on it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but anyway, it's got a few on it. Not much. Okay, now I've done the 300. Let's go back to the 1,000 grit side. And all I was doing with the 1,000 grit on the bottom was just smoothing it up, making it slick. So when you sharpen edge into the stone, whatever it is. Always. Now you can sharpen away from it, but on a belt grinder or whatever. But it's usually better to go into it. So, and once you get this set flat down, you can feel it on the edge, on the angle that it is. So that's all I'm doing. Polishing it up while sharpening it. Okay. Yep. That's making them dance. It's not super yet, but it's still making them dance. Now then, here comes the hone. Now, there's nothing on this hone except leather and little metal strips, or shavings, whatever you want to call it. Discoloration from them. When you sharpen into a stone. When you strop, when you strop, and you do it away from you, or you do it away from the edge, like this. That's the flat side. Now what you want to do, there's a lot of schools of thought on this. Some people say you're supposed to go less than your angle, whatever your angle is. If say this is the, if this is the strop right here, and you've got an angle that's, say, like this right here, some people would say that you would take this and kind of turn it up a little bit, or turn it up and get the, and get the angle away from it, get it to, like this, so you're not actually touching the edge, not touching the cutting edge. Now, what I do is I go the opposite. Is the strop there, and I go like this. Now, what you're doing right there on this edge right here is you're pulling it out, and if you've got any kind of a little thin wire edge on it, it will curl it up, and when you do the same on the other side, it will break it off. And that's what you want. To get something sharp, you first create a burr, then you have to remove the burr. Once you remove the burr, you've got it. There's a lot of people agree with that. I happen to be one of them. So anyway, so when you're stropping, you pull it to you. Same way on the top. You set your angle, you pull it to you. Go a little bit more, because what you're wanting is right on the edge. There's no polish and paste, no compounds of any kind on this. It's, like I said, it's just leather and metal where I've been doing it. Okay, pull that on the back, feel a little burr. Did it a few times. Okay, just to make sure that it's gone. Edge looks good and shiny. No glinting that I can see. It's got a couple little notches in it, but now .99% clean. Hopefully you can see that. And I put no pressure on it. I just let it through there. That's what a leather strop and a sharpening stone's for. Like I said, this right here's 10 thousandths or 13 thousandths at its thinnest and 17 at its thickest. So now, right here, nothing. Take about, I don't know, get my cutting fluid. There it is. I thought I had it packed up for the show, but I don't. Now, this lapping fluid I've had for a long time. A long time. It don't take much, and I don't use it on every knife, but I do use it. And it only takes just a couple of drops. Really. That's way too much right there, I believe. Okay, that's a 300 once it gets in there. Okay, the 300 sign. And yeah, let's see if I can get this up just a little higher here for me. And you, yeah. Now, see, that's what happens. Is sometimes I'll drop off in one of these when I roll a corner. That happens to be how I finish my. I got a bunch to sharpen today. And I got the Kydex sheaths to finish, finalize up, and get ready for the show here. So this will come out way after yet. So, but this. Okay. Now, you can see, maybe you can see, there's a little line right on the edge of this that you can see it's shiny, but the scratches come down and stop before they get to the edge. Now, no marks up the side. You're not sharpening the sides of your knife, so quit laying the dang thing down like this, trying to sharpen it. You just get you an angle. And you'll have to do this. Normally what I'll do on these is I'll take them back and put a 600 grit belt on the belt grinder and get them down a little bit before I put them on that. But this is just want to show you that you can do it. You can little practice, a little patience. You can sharpen a brick. You can use a brick to sharpen them with. Valhalla, Forge, or Ironworks, whatever. Alec over in Tasmania. Well, not Tasmania, New Zealand. Anyway, he's a Kiwi, or whatever he is. Showed that a while back that you could sharpen them on a. See, this is what I'm talking about. When you sharpen, you take the edge and you cut into it, and you act just exactly like you're trying to cut a slice off of this. Just take a little fine slice off of it. That's what you're trying to do. Trying to cut pieces off thinner than newspaper. So yep. You don't have to press hard, you know. It's like trying to just think of it like sharpening. You're not cutting little layers off of wet toilet paper. You know, you don't want to push it down that too hard. Anything you could damage whatever you're starting. But it's on the 300 grit side. I can feel a burr. I can feel the glinting. It's glinting right there. Up to right there. Yeah, it's still glinting. Okay. Kind of hard sharpening. Well, it's not so hard sharpening without a handle on it, but it does feel mighty strange. Now, this is done in real time now. I'm not going to cut and edit and all this. Matter of fact, the last one that I done, I just downloaded it, run it through the video software that I have, and exported it. No edits, no nothing. That's the way I used to do it. Not even edit. I throw a lot of balloon juice out, but I'm trying to share what I know with everybody. You know, right now my kids are not interested in learning how to do it, so they got their lives to themselves. And my grandsons are in Ohio, so it's just me. I'll find some young man around that's interested in this and teach him what I know and how I do things. Or a young man, young woman, doesn't matter. Somebody young who wants to be a maker. Okay. Okay, the middle, where it measured 13, that right now we'll shave. However long it's been. And look, the edge of the dead dang knife is not, well, one little spot right there where I laid it down over a few minutes ago to show you what not to do. The edge you can see, but there's the sides of the knife is still clean. There's the scratches are going this way. There's a few stray ones going up and down every once in a while, but that's not from this. It is right there where I laid it down a few minutes ago. But anyway, or a minute or two ago. So now I have to work on the tip. So let's do that. Then I'll have to work on the heel. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to take just a little thin slice off of it. Okay. Don't be afraid to do just like I done. Once you get your initial sharpening done, you shouldn't have to do that again. Especially if it's just, this is just thick. Like I said, normally I'd take a 600 grit belt and take it, put them all on the belt grinder there, and do this little bevel and come in here and run over the 1000 grit. That's the reason I ain't used that much of this fluid. Only takes a few licks. Once you do the 600 on there, get your secondary bevel established. I think this was right at 20 thousandths up here. Okay. Feeling a lot better. See what I mean? When I get my style, sometimes we'll ride one of them lines right there, drop off in it, and then I'm pushing it against the side of the diamonds, and I'm flattening the edge instead of sharpening it. Okay, let's go down here to the heel. Okay, I'm bleeding. Dummy. I felt that. So it went from brick to sharp here in just what, less than 5 minutes. I don't know what the counter is on it. It's still a little dull back here. You can see the glinting. Everywhere else is pretty damn good. Now, turn it over. Let's do the 1,000 side. Alright. Polishing all the 300 scratches out of it. Yep. Bleeding. Get me some Man Boo Boo tape. Band-aid here in a few minutes. Okay. Just right in this general area right here. Looks like everything else is gonna be sharp. So now, I've done that. Like I said, there's nothing on this. Need to take another 4 or 5 minutes to get it sharp down here. You'd be surprised what this does to it if you do it. If you can see, I'm holding this a lot steeper than what I was. I'm not trying to cut anything off of it. I'm just trying to make it lay flat. The leather, that is. Nothing on the leather. Okay, just after a few minutes, it's got blood on it right there. And this one little boo-boo right here that I've done earlier, the edge looks pretty good. There's some of it up here needs to be, get the scratches out. That's better. Still there, but not as bad. Like I said, this one will never see the light of day for a customer. Now, I don't have any paper in here. Okay. I mean just the weight of the knife. Now, but there it is. Hopefully you can see it. And that was just the weight of the knife. Is it still sharp, razor sharp from one end to the other? No, there's a few little dull spots on it. They're not glinting, but they're just not as polished up toward the front here, where it was thick, and back here still not sharp. Right in this choil area right here, but it's only about ½ inch that they glint right in there. So then right at the tip I see a little bit of glinting, just a little bit. Glinting equals flat spots. Flat spots equal dull blade. So yeah, but that right there, however long it took me to sharpen this thing on the camera, I don't know. With no 1.5 hours. It's a new knife. And you watch me do my thumb all the way from one end to the other on it, but without any blood, and before I got it completely sharp, I'm bleeding. So I like to take my time with sharpening, but if you hand sand everything down and you get down like that, don't matter if it's a 1/4 inch thick, as long as you get it down there pretty close, and then you can do it obtuse, do your little angle down here on the bottom, and be an apple seed edge, what they call ABS grind. Yeah, it's supported very well with that. Yeah, I'm telling you, just the weight of the knife. Ooh, and I just cut myself. I'd shave a monkey's butt if you could catch a monkey. Anyway, I'll be bleeding through my shirt here in a little bit probably. Nah, it wasn't that bad. Let's go. So, anyway, and that's how long it takes to sharpen a brand new knife. Like I said, there's a couple of little spots. I may have got it out. Nope, I didn't get it out with a straw. Nor did I get this, but this is really close right here. It won't take just a few minutes to work on that more, but you get the general idea. If you get this down to reasonably 10, 12, 15 thousandths, I think this was like 17.5 up here, and here was 13. I believe this was 16 right there. So it was pretty, there's variations right there. So this is rusty old pieces right there, where I hadn't done anything to it right there. So, but rust is not usually an issue here. I don't, or with the knives that I make. So let's see. I don't have my father's knife that I made him. I made him a knife about 2012, 2013, and I took it to him, and I told him to use it for whatever you wanted to use it for. Dig taters, whatever. The handle wasn't much on it. It was my first attempt at kind of a handle like this, and I was being stupid. Anyway, and I put a great big antler on it, and it's about that wide and only about half that tall. So it's stupid looking, don't feel that good in your hand, but anyway, that, I was proud enough to give it to him, and he was proud enough to take it. I told him to use it for whatever he wanted to, and he said, well, okay. And I put it in a know-nothing sheath. I'm talking about a $3 eBay sheath. Years ago, he built a radio, a big stereo, nice, beautiful looking cabinet in the late 60s, early 70s, 69, 70, right in there. I was just a boy. And he built it. And he plugged it up and he had it on. When he plugged it up, the switch was on, wide open. It like it was on a radio station. He didn't know where the radio station was from or whatever. He just plugged it up. And it come on. It like to deafen everybody in the house. So it worked. Point being is, he's got that his radio. And got it from Radio Shack, and so he keeps that. He kept it in a place of honor, treasury, whatever. He treasured it, so it was prominently displayed everywhere in the house my brother's got now, and the one that he built there, and plus the other houses that we lived in. It always had a point where it was front and center. He was proud of it, proud of what he done. And he took that knife and he laid that knife up on top of that radio. There was nothing, not even a doily, ever went on that radio. But he put that knife up there for everybody to see and talk about. And he'd take it out and show it to people. And he never sharpened it. He never used it. He'd take it out, he'd show it to somebody, and put it back in the sheath and put it right back where he got it, right on top of that stereo. And when he passed, the day he passed, he tried for a long time to get me to take it back. From the time he broke his hip on till he passed, he tried to get me to take it back. And I wouldn't do it. I said, well, you might need to, dig taters with it one of these days. He said, no, I won't use it. And I'm past using it. So when he died, the day he died, I took it with me when I left. It's in the house, still in the sheath, and it's still not rusted. He's never oiled it. He's never cleaned it. Nothing. It stays in the sheath till he takes it out, till he took it out and showed it to people. But it was right there on top of his stereo. So anyway, and it still looks just like the day I put it in the sheath. And I mean, it's not this kind of quality. But hey, I waited till I got a little better at it before I started professionally doing this. So been doing it for a while. Like I said, I got buddies that's got knives. I got people that's got knives out everywhere. Missouri, New England, somewhere, and places like that, and California, Pennsylvania, all over the place. And so far, I've never had one come back to me for any reason. I don't know if that's unusual or is it me being really anal. Don't know. I hope it's me being really anal and making sure they're right before they go out the door. When they go out the door, they're like this. They will cut you just looking at them. So this one, I'll just use it here. And since it's broke and I know it's broke, I may put just a crappy little handle on it and put bolts in it so I can bolt it down and make it really, really, really tight right there and run the handle all out so it'll have some support right in this general area, because that looks like about 1/4 of an inch. It's all it's holding this thing together. But I can use it for cutting hay bales and whatever else. But that's peaceful doing this. Takes your mind off about anything. Still, boy, that's sharp. Jeez. I could shave my old nasty chin whiskers with that, as my wife says. Old and nasty. They're just old and gray. They ain't nasty. I keep it clean. And I feed it real regular, so that's the reason it's growing. It loves cheese dip and salsa. Okay. So what else can I get into right now? This is, I mean, there's always something to do here. Okay, I've got that. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if that'll work or not, but if it don't, I know how to fix it. I can rip the face of it off and start and go again. That's not a problem. Okay, what else can I do? Oh, I know. Let's, that's nasty. Alright, let me get rid of this thing. Right here, my press for eyelets. I got all my sheaths, all my Kydex sheaths done. So, yep. Now, since I need a shop towel, and since I bled and my hands are dirty, like I said, I'm going to use this as a cleaner, disinfect it. Owie, owie, ow. Yes. They says that alcohol won't burn the fresh cut. Don't know what they're talking about. That's the reason I use that. Okay. Over there. Index. You got to fill all them scratches, cuts and scratches and everything. All this is from where I cut up my sandpaper. Need a paper shear. One of them paper guillotines like I had at school. There we go. There's that. Now, do I have any? Yes, I have a piece of paper right here in the floor behind me. Yep, I forgot to close you up. Okay. Leather rolled up to protect the hair side, which is this side, and the flesh side right here. So now what I want to do is pull up this just a little bit. And turn it over. Just like that. Now, lay the paper over the worst part of this. Okay. Make sure everything's wide angle, huh? Okay. Right here. Now I'll get this knife. Right there. Okay, it's got a guard on it. This is the subscriber collaboration knife. It's got a 1095 blade that has been homoned. It's got some square jimping in it. It's got a little gut hook. It's got a red G10 spacer, then a bone antler spacer, and a walnut spacer. And then this right here was a burl block of oak, and it was supposed to be, well, it was dyed and injected. It's supposed to have been stabilized. That's what I'm looking for, the word stabilized, and then cast in a block right there of resin. Well, it wasn't super big block, but it didn't make it all the way through. There was a cavity on the inside of it that's fairly big, and all of this I've got epoxy in. All of this red has got epoxy in it where it didn't seal up or didn't get everything. So anyway, but it fits real nice in your hand. It feels good. It's got a Damascus guard on it, and so the guard is the big reason that this won't go in the other sheaths that I've made. So what I want to do is figure, do I want a pouch or tacos? If I do a taco, I'll have to do it pretty good size, because of this. I want it in there at least up to here. So I'm just thinking out loud here. Pencil. Okay, see what that'll do. It will work. Just do a taco on it and everything. This one right there, here's my square. We're just getting a rough idea. That's nowhere near square, but that's good enough. Yep. Now, I'll go to right about there with it. Make sure there's plenty enough here. And how long do I want it? From there to there is 7.5. So 7.5. Let's go 8.25. And go. Whatever this is, so I'll use it as a square measurement right there. Go. And there, and because that goes that, I'll go a little bit longer. So go about there. That's what I thought. Right there. Now it's not square. Now it is. Or it will be. Now, where are my snips? There they are. I'll use this for what I just cut off. I'll use it for the webbing, the welt. I'll get it in a minute. Forgot that word there a while back. Okay, now, right there. Yeah. Now, that keep it from getting all marked up. And we'll go like this. Watch it not be big enough now. It's not. Doggone it. It's not wide enough to get a taco, so I'll do it again. I'll add about an inch or so to that. Yep, that'll work. Should. Never fear on that one. It will work on other ones. Or it will work as a strap, a belt hanger, and the welting, everything else. So. Now, I know that between these I can make a sheath. There's probably another half dozen in there if I don't screw up anymore. That is just enough. Yep. That is just enough. Right there. So, yeah, pencil there. Correct. Yep, let's see. Right there. I'm going to go to about right there, I guess, before I start bringing it in. Probably. Okay. Okay, there's something round. Not big enough. Yep, not big enough. So for a vacuum cleaner, nobody is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my window fluid. Yeah. Turn this over. That's not big enough either. Lord. Oh. Okay. Oh, this has got my cornbread in it from my tumbler. Oh, you won't go in. Now, 5-gallon bucket worked. That's it. Okay. I don't know how to do it. So, okay. Okay, a little room that I can hand or grind off. Pen. Right, now then. Yep. So now, I'm going to use 2 pieces of this a 1/2 inch wide. 2 pieces. Simply because that I'm gonna line it, and I'm actually gonna use more than that, but to start with, okay. I don't know, I should have marked them to start with. I always use them, so. Some I use are 5/8, it just depends. This having that guard on there, I want it fairly tight, so I'm running a tolerance and fitment, so. Okay. Let's see if my knife is up to the task today. Okay. There it is. Okay, I don't do it. I swear I could cut my leg under the table by pushing down on it and make my leg bleed, and it still hang on to with something. And that's the reason I got this top up here. It's kind of a, that's what it is, it's a cutting board. So, see, there we go. Nope, still didn't do it. Yep. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm plugged up, so I don't have to worry about battery charge right now. Okay, now then, what we're gonna do right here is, I have to get this is right-handed, so remember that. So take this right here, this piece, make it that wide. Okay. Dang. Telling you. Okay. There's that. Let's see what I got here. 4.5. Okay, let me go 4.25. That's less than 4. Okay. Yep, this will be enough. Like I said, I can use that for everything I do later on. Yeah, don't go to waste. Okay, there it is. Now, okay, 4.5 and 9, something like that. Okie dokie. Now, that's, I don't need much in there, I just need just about right there. Bingo. Got it. Lighter. First pass. Wow. Okay. Now then, cut a little off in it. I give these things to paramedics so they can cut their seat belts and everything. They're not really that much punking for them. So there we go. Now, while I'm doing this, sit up here, I think it's leaking out. See? This stuff is like $25 or $30 a bottle. Don't want to lose that. Okay. Okay. Now, why didn't I do the both sides of the nylon now? Well, nylon soaks that up like a sponge, so you put it on the top like that and it'll suck its way down through capillary action and just gravity and everything else. It will go down. This was still good and wet when I put that on there, so it was sucking up into it. Put it on top, let it go down as far as it go. So there's already a couple of places that look like it could stand to use some more glue on it because it sucked it all the way down and opened the pores up on it. I don't know if I can show you that or not. I don't know if that's going to come through or not, but anyway, the area right in there is dry, where it's done pulled it through. There's several places on it that's dry, where it pulled that through it. That's the reason. Now, then, this stuff right here will only take as long as it takes. You keep that. Need to put you in my box over there. No, I've got to leave you out. I got knives to sharpen here a little bit. Oh. Okay. Okay, now, while I'm waiting on that, might as well do this. Okay, I don't know what I've done with my roller. I hadn't seen it in a few days, so that'll be okay. Now, Oh boy, I get to be boss now. The wife has left. Yeah, she stopped up there. She must have been looking at that stupid deer we got. I mean, I don't got it, but it's not a pet or anything. It's just, it won't jump the fence with its mom. I don't know if or when it does go across. Without dropping things, would be better off. Oh. Just trying to thin the edge. It would work just the way it is. I just want the edge a little bit thinner, because it's going to be as a blocker for this particular knife. That's as big as it needs to be. Not there sideways while the grills are. Okay, there's that. Hopefully. No, hopefully. I didn't. Right there. There it is. Okay. Change the bits. Is it lead? Yep, it's lead in there. Okay. Yep. Butare, because it's easier. The garbage is easier to get. Put in under the drill press here when I get to raking it off. funky. Okay. Now that works perfectly fine. Okay. Now, see, didn't even stick. It's a good thing, I guess, because it's in the wrong place. Need to be over a little bit. Once all this gets like that, yeah, needs to be over just a little bit more. So there we go. Now, I think I will take this in and sew it up. Let this dry. Like I said, I get to be boss, so I can go inside now and watch what I want on TV. So this is probably the day in the life of a squirrel. Yeah, gotta be a little nutty, a little nutty to be a knife maker. But anyway, if you've made it to the end of it, God bless you. It's a long and probably boring, but this is just a day in the life of the little stuff that I do and what all knife makers do. They all go through, basically they all do about the same thing. Different styles of doing it, but basically it winds up about the same. So anyway, be sure and like, subscribe, share, all that stuff there. And till next time, Bobby Shields say, God bless.